Welcome, everybody. Welcome to our March webinar. My name is Kristen. I'm the publisher at Rapid Media, and I'm on the board of directors for the PTC as the associate rep. I'm very excited that you can all join us today. We haven't done one of these since November, so we have lots to update you on. Yeah, we're looking forward to this. Before we get started, just a few things for housekeeping. We are recording the webinar. It will be available on our website after this. And for everybody who's attending, we'll email out a link to you guys to watch afterwards. You can share it with your friends. You do not need to be a member of the PTC to be attending this meeting. So we would obviously love everybody to become a member, but you're welcome whether you are or not. A couple other things, everybody is on mute, and I will open the chat afterwards. So if we're having any technical issues, please let us know there. For right now, just do it in the Q&A so I can see it. We're going to roll through it, and then at the very end, we will go through any Q&A questions or any chat things that you guys bring up. We'll try to go through those systematically, but there'll also be a open time at the end where you can put up your hand and ask any questions, or if you have comments, those are also welcome at the end too. Cool. All right, so our agenda for today is really exciting. We've got lots of momentum happening with the PTC right now. We are going to hear from our PTC chair, Stig Larsson. You can see him on the screen drinking his coffee. And you can also see our executive director, Jeff Turner, on here. So we'll hear from them. They're going to go through the PTC Colab, which we're hosting again this year. And then we're going to invite all of you guys to participate in our newest initiative, which is our Go Paddle Day. I'll leave the thunder to those guys to announce that. And then after that, we're going to hear from our board member, Jason Eccles from Bending Branches and Aquabound. And he's going to announce our next industry survey and our webinar topic for April, which will be advancing the direct-to-consumer discussion, which we're expecting to be quite heated and exciting to dive into. And then again, at the end, we're going to get into our Q&A from attendees. All right. Hopefully you guys are already familiar with our leadership. For those of you who don't know them, I'm honored to introduce our PTC chair, Stig Larsson of Level 6, and our executive director, Jeff Turner. We're going to start with Stig. So I'll turn it over to you, Stig.
Awesome. Thanks, Kristen. First of all, welcome everybody, and thanks for joining today. I know for us in the paddle sports space, this is a really busy time. I know the snow's melting up here in Canada, so everyone's getting pretty excited to get back on the water. We have a ton to present in a really short amount of time, so we just want to make sure everyone's engaged and involved, but then also, be conscious of that time frame. So we'll run through a couple little administrative things, and we'll jump into the meat of it. As we hope you all know, the Paddle Sports Trade Coalition, or the PTC, is a member-driven, not-for-profit 501c6 trade coalition of brands, manufacturers, retailers, outfitters, and sales reps, who are the voice and soul of the North American paddle sports industry. Before we dig into things, we'll kind of do this at all the webinars now, just to get an idea of where people are coming from. So Kristen's going to put a poll up to kind of see who's on the call today and kind of what membership category are you in. So you see the poll there. If you have a chance to run through that.
Stig, I can see when everybody's finished. So we've got 43 to 61. So I'll give it another seconds and then we'll end it.
So while you're voting, I mean, the idea when the PTC was formed, we wanted to create a real trade organization that represented everybody in the industry. So it's made up of retailers, outfitters, brands, sales reps, associates. And then our board seats are, they're spread out in a way that it kind of represents what we feel at the time was an equal representation of how the industry at whole works. Okay, perfect. So those are the results. It's actually interesting to see a lot more non-members this time than the last webinar, which is great. It means that people are curious and interested in what's going on here. So yeah, thanks for sharing that with us. We had, for those of you who were at Cornucopia a couple weeks ago, we actually had a PTC social, which was really geared towards introducing what the PTC and the initiatives are to a broader audience. And hopefully a lot of the people who voted non-member were actually at that social that was sponsored by Mustang, Bending Branches, Aquabound, and Level 6. Great turnout. I think 75 to 100 people showed up to listen to us talk about what we're doing. And I really hope that those non-members who sign up for this webinar are part of that crew. First off, for those who don't know what the PTC is, we're made up of a board of directors, and you can see that slide there from Pam. You can see who we have. We have Matt, John, Brad, Brian, Sue, Jason Eccles, Phil, Lily, Brian, Scott, Holly, and then we have Kristen, of course, and we have Ted Keys. Now, we had a membership vote, additional seats added in December, and that's when Matt, John, Brian, Scott, and Lily joined us. So we have some new, members or some new board of directors filling in some much needed seats in order to kind of broaden our direction, our initiatives, and give us a bit more energy to create all the initiatives that we've created so far and help us push through on those things. All 16 board members are elected by the PTC membership and serve as volunteers, of course, without compensation. And then the officers, of course, are myself, Simon, and Rob. Simon is my vice chair, and Rob is a treasury secretary. And we certainly have, a bit more meetings than the monthly board meetings, but a lot of it's just kind of dealing through the minutia of what it takes to run a corporate industry like this. I guess the next is we'd like to thank everyone of you who has joined the PTC and invite you to join, if not already a member, of course. We have a very balanced membership, as you can see from the above membership percentages. We'd also like to announce that board members recently reduced the associate member dues. So pull out your phones, open the QR code, and join today. That's my Lily voice speaking. While you're capturing QR code, I'm going to introduce Jeff Turner, who will jump right into one of the starting topics of today's webinar, the PTC Colab 2025 edition. Jeff?
Thanks, Stig. Hey, everybody. So glad you're able to join us today. You'll all remember we had the ones who were able to come down and see, or you may have been watching from afar, but we did have our first inaugural event back in September 24 in about 150 total, 150 plus attendees. Really good event, fun place to go, and we've decided that we're going to head back there again this year. We're announcing the PTC Colab dates for 25, September 8th through 10th, and it will be held once again at the Riversport OKC facility. The event will be a 3-day event. We'll have 3 full days. It's Monday through Wednesday, and if you're able to attend and want to attend, you're all welcome to come. We will have an early start on the Monday, so we're really trying to encourage people to travel down to Oklahoma City on the Sunday before, so that you can get the full days. It also the agenda is going to be a very full agenda, both of general meetings as well as breakout sessions and so forth, which I'll go through in a minute or two. But I just wanted to talk a little bit about Oklahoma City and Riversport OKC. Oklahoma City is just such a convenient spot for us down there. We've had some experience as an industry at the 2 previous paddle sports retailer shows that were down there. I think it was 17 and 18, and those shows were great. The Riversport Park is absolutely one of the premier paddling centers in the world, certainly in North America, but also in the world. And there's a lot going to be happening down in Oklahoma City, and there's a lot that has happened related to paddling, because Riversport OKC is actually the venue and will be hosting the 28 Olympics for paddle events the summer of 28. The other part of it is that through their relationship with the International Canoe Federation, the ICF is having a World Congress event at Riversport OKC in the summer of 26. That'll be July of 26. That announcement will be coming out shortly as well. So there is a lot going on down there in the event. River Sport is just such a great facility for us to engage each other, to get an opportunity to get in some boats and see what's going on in a very authentic environment. And we really we're really very happy to be able to work with those guys. The folks at River Sport, as well as the our contacts and the people we work with in Visit OKC, which is the tourist organization for the city, are really engaged with us as an industry. Not just because of what's happening with the Olympics and the World Congress, but we're just one of the components that they're trying to focus on for Oklahoma City. Heard some comments that there aren't any good paddle dealers in Oklahoma City, but that's really not why we're there. It is actually one of the easiest places to get to in the country, direct flights from all major hubs across the US, and I believe there's also direct flights in from Canada as well. So we've for now we're there for our second year, and we're looking forward to the central location and how it's going to really support what we want to get accomplished down there. When we talk about the facility itself, it actually is quite good at supporting a pretty tight agenda. We'll be moving. You may recall last year we had a bunch of we had all our main general meetings as well as our breakout sessions within the Whitewater Center, right there at River Sport. Right next door to the Whitewater Center is the Devon Boathouse, which is a big other meeting facility that's a 100 or 200-yard walk from the area. We hope this year that our attendance is double what it was last year, and we're going to be utilizing the Devon Boathouse for our general session meetings as well. So it's a short walk, but we'll still continue to have our breakout sessions and the product showcase at the Whitewater Center right there at River Sport OKC. We'll be doing a whole product showcase again this year, similar format to last year. It'll be 10 spaces for the exhibitors that want to come and show their goods. We're again going to be balanced between the importance of our meetings and our opportunities to engage in discussion and so forth, and the opportunity to get on the water and enjoy the products that are on display at the event. For the exhibitors this year, we're going to be, because it's a Monday start and the park is open to general public on Sundays, we're not going to have the luxury of a day before setup. We're going to be doing setup first thing early on Monday morning, and that'll go through, till 1 or 2 p.m. on Monday. There will be meetings in session, so hopefully we will be able to work it out and support getting exhibitors set up as early as 7 in the morning, and we can get those displays set up so that we're able to be all together for our first product showcase, which will be in the afternoon on Monday afternoon. It's tight for sure, but we'll be there. There'll be a lot of people there to support it as we go forward. We're going to be doing flat water and moving water demos, whitewater demos. Will be one of the things that we got some feedback this year was that people were looking for opportunities to benefit by attending and getting perhaps some certifications, whether it be probably not a full swiftwater rescue certificate, but something very close to that, or the opportunity to have vendor clinics. So intermixed into our agenda will also be the opportunity for vendors to do clinics on their products. That could happen during the product showcase, but may also be woven into the breakout sessions as we go through. There'll be a lot to do, and we're going to do our very best to make sure that the agenda is built so that people can experience all the things that they want to experience for sure. We'll be having a welcome social on the Monday evening, and then our full industry party and celebration and dinner will be on Tuesday night. So it's going to be a packed agenda. We have an overview at this point of that agenda. There will be a lot more information coming out on that. I just wanted to just hit on some of the key elements of the general session topics that we're going to talk about. Stig's going to give you a little bit of information about our newest initiative, the Go Paddle Day in 25. But we'll certainly be getting into next September. We'll be getting into the success of that event, how we can grow it, how we can continue it for 26 and forward. Those general sessions give us an opportunity for retailers and brands to engage and collaborate and have open discussions about the challenges that they may face in their business or the successes that they've had. We're going to be doing a series of boating safety initiatives. Our relationships have been built over the last year or two with organizations like the National Safe Boating Council, the NASBL organization, as you may remember, were our initial association managers when we first started. Whitewater Foundation, there are a series of organizations we work with, and we're discussing with them the opportunity to create some safety initiatives and discussions about how we more broadly build that across the industry. Direct to consumer is perhaps one of the biggest topics that we've got these days. There's a lot of discussion about that. So we hope that we'll be able to inspire some discussion on the impacts of direct to consumer and how we as an industry can help manage that, or at least help facilitate communication between brands and retailers as they move forward. People have also asked us, can you get some industry data? And that is one of our key initiatives and something that's going to take us time to build, but we want to have opportunities to discuss industry data, technology buildup, and so on and so forth as we go forward. So that's some of the more general session discussions. Again, when we get into the breakout session and topics, it's a little deeper dive into all of that. Certainly, one of our key elements of the association is growth in our industry, but more than just growth, it's about consumer engagement. How do we help facilitate the growth and the invitation of people to our sport and keep them in and keep them growing within the sport? So I'm sure that we had some good discussions last year, and there'll be more to talk about this year related to that. Go Paddle Day is certainly one of the key elements of that consumer engagement. The other things we've hoped to be able to bring, we will be bringing this year, is maybe a certification program or two. One of the ideas that we've got is a program called Paddling Pro, and we're actually working quite closely with Pam, with the NASBL organization at building a true certification program. So somebody who is perhaps selling within the paddle industry, within a retail store, within an outfitter organization, that they have a basic PTC Paddling Pro certification, which takes them really through the initial elements of putting people in boats and making sure that they're safe and so forth. That certification will be great for retail staff, will be great for livery staff, will be great for outfitter organizations and so forth. And I guess also in the breakouts, we really want to hear member feedback. We want to hear engaged members. What do they want? What do they want for us? What are they experiencing, and how do we go forward? And what initiatives should we take to move forward? Again, the product showcase, as I mentioned, is going to be flatwater and whitewater demos. There'll be opportunities for sales training, sales technique training and interaction from vendor training and clinics. And we're also speaking with ACA, as well as we've met a really wonderful guy down in Oklahoma City. He leads all fire and rescue for Oklahoma City. And we hope to be able to offer some moving water certifications as well during the event. So if you've got staff that you want to expand their knowledge and their certifications, those will be available for you when you're down in Oklahoma City at the event. I think really just in my mind, the key to not only the key to PTC as an organization, but the key to the Colab is it really services to service collaboration and celebration within our industry. It's for conversation. It's for building new relationships, developing new relationships, seeing your friends, meeting new friends, having educational opportunities for us, generally industry. Have discussions about what tactics we should use to build our community, to engage the clubs, to engage regional opportunities around the U.S. and Canada. And this really gives us an opportunity to all be there and have those discussions and start to drive this, unified, industry-driven effort to build our community and build our sport and solidify the participants in that sport. And also at the annual, because it's our annual meeting as well, which is a governance issue, it also is an opportunity for all members to be able to see us, look us in the face, hear what they have to say, hear where we're going. So the member voice becomes very, very important as we go forward. So we won't finalize this agenda without you, though. And we're doing right now a call for proposals, which for anyone attending this seminar or anyone who's out there and happens to see this QR code is going to give you an opportunity to complete a survey on what your ideas are about what we should be doing at the PTC Colab in 25. So you can scan that a QR code. You can see a survey that's in that'll be posted on our website as well following the meeting if it's not already there. And this is very direct feedback that we want to hear from you about what you want to see on the agenda in Oklahoma City this coming September. And finally, we had a great crew of people there last year. Really exciting, a lot of fun. We got some really good business done, had some incredible breakout discussions and general discussions. And I want to see this crowd to be twice as large as what's in this picture. And we hope that you can all make some time, get down there and see the benefit of joining in on the collab for 25. There'll be lots more information coming out, as I say, over the next 2 months. I just thank you so much for listening. Sig, pass it on to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeff. I think before I jump into the next thing that we're going to talk about, I think Jeff said two really important things there. The PTC Colab is about participation and collaboration amongst the industry. What we're going to talk about next is about participation and collaboration amongst the users in our industry. So without further ado, I'll talk about the latest, one of our biggest initiatives. I think it's going to hit home with a lot of the people who are maybe struggling to grow the industry, grow the user base. And this Go Paddle Day came apart when I was at a paddle sports show in Strasbourg last year. And I listened to EJ speak about dwindling participation probably in the older segment of the crowd. And he said something that really hit home. It was about we're so focused on trying to get new paddlers that we've also kind of missed out on re-engaging the lapsed paddlers. As a 52-year-old who started kayaking when I was 12 years old, and now I've run level 6 for more than half my life, I'm probably one of those lapsed paddlers. I paddle, but I'm not paddling as much as I used to. So it kind of spoke to me. And when I came back from that show, I reached out to Jeff. We were just spitballing ideas about, what can we do a unified push to get everyone to focus about getting back on the water, bring a friend, and show them what you fell in love with so many years ago, or you still fall in love with every day today if you're lucky enough. So that's where the Go Paddle Day initiative came from. So Go Paddle Day is going to be, it's a PTC initiative, but really it's everyone in the industry initiative. We're guiding it because we have the board members, the volunteer base to push this forward, but we're really looking to everybody, non-members and members of the PTC, to get behind this one singular day to encourage people to get back on the water, or get on the water for the first time, or introduce someone else to being on the water. And the goal with this is it's obviously to make our industry healthier. We know that there's more people leaving the paddle sports realm than they are entering it. And retailers and outfitters, they're here for the sole purpose of engaging new users and, of course, refreshing their gear. And the more participants are out there, of course, then the industry becomes healthier financially as well. And that's certainly one of the mandates of the PTC, to make a healthier industry. So without further ado, here's our first annual Go Paddle Day. It's going to be on June 14th. And what the concept of the Go Paddle Day is exactly what I kind of said, where everyone in the industry is going to get behind a singular day to encourage people to get on the water. So what our goal is, we're going to spread the word and make participation accessible to as many people as possible across North America. And through our shared marketing and resources and industry collaboration, these days will be aimed to put paddle sports in the front of as many people as possible. And that comes from, speaking as a brand, the brands will, be able to push out to all of their followers or their social media contacts or all of their customers in order to support this singular day. On the retailer side, I think the brick and mortar retailer, we're going to provide you with information in order to promote that day through your customer base, through your social media channels. Outfitters, the same thing. Sales reps, same thing. Reaching out to as many people as possible, talking about this day. And with all of this, we're going to call it free marketing. It's going to hopefully make a huge impact. And of course, people like Rapid Media will be able to have all of their contacts as well to kind of guide us along. So the outcome of this will be increased awareness, of course, and participation as the initiative unfolds and grows in the coming years, hopefully securing and reinforcing our passion-driven industry. So how are we going to do this? Well, with the support of the PTC and manufacturers, the goal is to make this an easy to execute event. We don't want to make this something that's so convoluted and difficult that it's going to fail. We want maximum visibility for an output that fits your organization. The PTC and manufacturers will be committed to promoting partner events on a large scale, so maximum eyes on what is being made available. The Go Paddle Day will be an aggregation of resources from the best businesses and minds in the industry to get as many people on the water in paddlecraft as possible. For industry and businesses to thrive in the long term, we need more butts and boats. That's every single time you go anywhere, that's the common goal. For my 27 years in this industry, it's butts and boats. How can we do that? And Go Paddle Day is supporting that process to engage shops, clubs, organizations, and individuals to get more people on the water. So why? Why do we need this? Well, I think I kind of talked about it already. We need this because we need to engage with new and existing participants on a tactile level. This is often an overwhelming task for a singular outfitter, retailer, brand to do, especially in the summertime when you're so busy running your business, which fortunately doesn't make it any less important. But simply put, we need to show and not tell people that physical, mental health, and social benefits that paddle sports can provide. Can't think of a more important why than that. And I think at the Colab last year, Emily Jackson, gave a very, very emotional speech about what paddle sports has done for her mentally and how it has given her the opportunity to travel the world. And these are things that we need to share with a new user base. Who is this for? I mean, it's for everybody in the industry, retailers, outfitters, clubs, wanting to help grow interest and participation in paddle sports in their region by introducing new participants and by connecting casual paddlers to available resources in the community. It's for the brands as well. It's for everybody in the industry. We know that if participation increases, we're a healthier industry, which is what we all want, which is what the PTC is here for. How do you get involved? Levels of participation in Go Paddle Day. Kristen, who's done an incredible job on this website, we're still building it out, so you'll see the link later on. But more and more as it comes in the next week or two. We know that not all organizations have the community or capacity to run giant events. We want everyone to feel as though they can be engaged and successful in creating an event or a movement that gets more people on the water. So we've got right now 4 different levels of engagement. We have our local legends, we have the grassroots, we have community builder, and we have industry leader. And honestly, all of these are equally important. I'd rather see someone come in with the smallest amount than sit back and say, I don't think I can do anything here. Every single person on the water makes a significant impact to the whole of this industry. So, of course, encourage you to check out the website, click through the partner toolkit. More is coming out in the partner toolkit. Kristen's building out some predetermined or pre-curated media for us that you'll be able to easily share on your socials, and print up on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper for your retail location, your outfitter. Sales reps can hand out flyers when they're checking things out, going to other events and demo days, just getting people encouraged to get behind this day. What are the next steps? Well, there's a lot of next steps. Today is day one of the next steps. And we're hoping everyone on this call is going to go and speak to 10 more people and direct them to this website. And first off and foremost, sign up and register. Create an event. Something as simple as a staff barbecue. If you're a brand, have a staff barbecue by the river and everyone goes out and you bring a family friend and you get on the water. Can be as elaborate as Alberta Whitewater Club having an incredible demo day linked with acrobatics. It can be anything you want it to be, but the goal is to get people on the water enjoying something that they used to love doing or continue to love doing, and ultimately they bring a friend as well. Next is go to the Go Paddle Day website and complete this form to add an event. This allows your event to be seen by anyone visiting the events listing on the webpage. If it becomes a bit, if you want to have an event, but you're not fully sure how to build it out, put your event in there, the location and well, obviously the day is June 14th, but the location where you're going to have it, and then email Kristen and she can help you walk through some of the strategies to build out your event to make it successful based on what we're seeing from other people creating events. For those who want to donate here, we're also secure the hashtag Go Paddle Day. And what we're going to be doing is we're trying to encourage as many people to get out on the water as possible. We're looking for 160 different prizes that you can for a giveaway for a hashtag Go Paddle Day, and there'll be prize packs built out for those that are randomly selected as the winners. Just trying to encourage as many people as possible to get out there and promote this event. You can easily become a sponsor, of course, by emailing anyone else on this board. And there's next. Become a member of the PTC, and your company will not be listed, but also highlighted in the resources to keep paddling. We're trying to always ensure that those retailers, outfitters, and brands and sales reps that are supporting our initiatives, you'll get a little extra love from us, and that's one of those ways we're doing it. So you can see if you are a PTC member, you'll be highlighted in there as a PTC member in the resources to keep paddling section. And there's so much more you can do on the website. You'll see more coming out as you go, but number one, subscribe to stay up to date. Tell everyone in your marketing team, subscribe to stay up to date. Tell your floor staff so they can get engaged with this. Community outreach. So many people, their stores or outfitters are also linked to a local club. So many brands are linked to different clubs and outfitters. Reach out to them and try to do a cross promotion. We have a local club here where we're going to be going down there giving out or loaning out a bunch of demo gear to get people out on the water, get them engaged, linking with our local retailers, having some demo gear to give out, try to get people on the water who maybe don't want to purchase today, but they want to experience that, and then they'll purchase at a later date. But the singular goal is to get them out on the water excited. Of course, social media, we know this is the big ticket one. Think of all the outfitters, brands, retailers, sales reps. If you take all of those people, there are hundreds of thousands of people linked to our different organizations. If we all share one or two posts leading up to this event, the reach for paddle sports alone will be more than any marketing campaign that a single person could do ever. So that's a key one for us, and it's free. We will create all the content for you. You just have to share it. Of course, the partner toolkit. Check your inbox for updates. All the graphics are going to be rolling out as things progress, but definitely we're going to make this easy for everybody.
Lily Colby has her hand up.
Yeah.
Ask her to unmute. There you go.
Lily.
Hi, can I just share with you at Canoecopia, I went around the hall talking about Go Paddle Day with different vendors there. And here's an example of a grassroots kind of situation. There's a little coffee company on the Gunflint Trail in the Boundary Waters called Loon's Nest Coffee. And he was like, whoa, I could have everyone come to my parking lot in the morning. I could give them some free coffee. And then he's associated with the different outfitters along the Gunflint Trail. There are a number of them. He said, I'll talk to the outfitters. We can meet in my parking lot. We can invite paddlers to come, get in boats with friends, go out for the day, come back. So he immediately saw how this could be a real networking engagement opportunity with his local community.
Thanks, Lily. Yeah, for sure. I think, what we discussed at Canoecopia was people love this initiative. So finally, in PTC, I mean, is poised to support your efforts to build community, facilitate paddler growth and involvement, and ultimately grow your business. And how are we going to gauge this success? I mean, number one, increase participation in paddle sports by current and lapsed users. I mean, that's number one. That is our goal here. Increased exposure to paddle sports by new users. I mean, we need that. We need to get back to what it was in 2020, 2021, where people embrace this as a way to get outside of mental health. Increase traffic exposure to local retailers and outfitters and the services they provide. Independent retailers, brick and mortar, they are the lifeblood of this industry. And we need to get customers coming in there and engaging with those people and seeing the services they provide and walking out with something that suits them exactly with what they need. You don't do that on the internet. You do that by touching and feeling the product. Increased awareness for supporting brands, retailers, outfitters, and sales reps. If the more you give to this industry, the more you get back out. I can tell you that from 27 years experience of running level 6, it is 100% the case. If you are engaged in growing the industry, you will reap those rewards. It's the reason why I'm chairman of the board of the PTC. I know this is my mandate in life to create a more viable paddle sports industry. It's enough rambling for me, but kind of the wrap up, Go Paddle Day, it is in the future of Go Paddle Days. Ideally, this will become a biannual event. If the success of this is strong, we'd like to have one later on in the late summer as well. Again, to keep people engaged in trying paddle sports. It's also one of the many initiatives that we're going to help with the core focus of the Paddle Sports Trade Coalition and its goal to ensure a healthier paddle sports industry for all participants. These initiatives will only succeed if we all work together and collaborate resources. It's the reason why we're called a coalition. Our industry and our future depends on increased awareness and participation, the very things that all of us at this time in this webinar love. So before we move on, that's my hurrah speech. I'm super passionate about this, obviously. This is what we need. It's in all my discussions with brands, retailers, sales reps, and outfitters, current membership base, new membership base, on the sidelines of membership base, it's always been how can we increase participation? And this is an incredible way of doing it with very little monetary output. So thanks everyone for the support of this, but any questions or comments do you want to share?
Stig, I'm just noticing something really cool in the chat, and it's
Okay.
that people are suggesting that they change events that they're already doing or are annual events already as part of their businesses and changing the date to the 14th. So obviously we know everybody can't do that, but it's something I hadn't thought of ahead of time, and I really love that idea. So spread that word if you can.
Yes, would love that too. Yeah, I've reached out to a couple of dealers up here who have something usually in June, and I've gotten to mark up June 14th as the day. Any other questions or comments before we move on? Okay, we can do a full Q&A at the end, but thanks everybody for listening to that. We have one more additional item we want to share before we depart today's webinar. I'd like to pass this over to Jason, PTC board member, Jason Eccles.
All right, Stig. Thank you, Stig, so much. And thanks to all the attendees. You've made it through 50 some minutes of our presentation today. So thank you for hanging on here until the end. Looks like we're going to do well and finishing well inside of our hour and a half allotment, hopefully inside of an hour if I can keep to my time commitment. So let's look forward. What are we looking ahead to? And the education committee for the PTC, the Pal Sports Trade Coalition, is we're looking at advancing the D2C or the direct to consumer discussion. So if we roll back several months to the PTC Colab from last September, one of the breakout sections we had our associates get together, we had our retailers and outfitters breakout, we had our brands and manufacturers breakout, and our sales reps. So those are all different breakout sessions. And we asked each one of those groups this question. From your perspective, when thinking about the future of the paddle sports industry, what are your biggest challenges to overcome in having a healthy, viable business 5 to 10 years from now? And we got a lot of feedback. And I think that there's a number of issues brought up to the surface that had been lying under the surface of the water, if I can use the pun. But we got some key elements that came out of that discussion. So, for example, on the retailers and outfitters, the key concerns in rolling forward were competing with direct-to-consumer sales and large online retail, a higher cost of doing business, labor, rent, insurance, ability to sell manufactured products without the manufacturer being a competitor. Brands and manufacturers had their set of issues and concerns. These are just the top ones here. Maintaining interest in and relevance for our sport in the outdoor community. How can we attract new prospects into paddle sports, specifically those who are younger to the sport? Participation, staying competitive with competing products manufactured abroad. So those are the issues that surfaced up, and the one that came up most frequently and had the most passion behind it was the direct to consumer discussion. So what we're going to do, what the education committee has committed to do is create a foundation for this conversation to move forward. We know this is a challenging topic. We know it's a difficult one. There's competing concerns and understandings on each side of this equation. And so what we put together is a survey. And this survey is going to launch at the end of this webinar. And the point of this survey is for us to basically, like I said, create that foundation for a healthy and productive conversation as we move forward. The PTC doesn't have any governing authority to tell anybody, any brand, any retailer how to run their business. But what we can do is we can bring the collaborative thoughts of our industry together to figure out ways to solve this issue and bring those recommendations or bring those thoughts to the industry as a whole. So the survey that you'll be seeing that comes out, and you can scan this QR code that you're seeing here. The survey focuses on the primary concerns that came out of the PTC Colab event from last September, as I just described, focusing primarily on direct to consumer. But the survey is more than just a ranking of questions. There's open-ended segments of the survey. And the reason for that is that in addition to getting feedback from retailers, outfitters, brands, manufacturers, sales reps, associates, we're looking for potential ideas to help navigate this conversation as well. And so for what we'd like to do is have as much participation in the survey as possible. We do ask that one survey be returned per entity or per company. And the reason for that is that we don't want 6 or 8 respondents from a single entity swaying the results of the survey. So we would appreciate it if you have multiple individuals within your organization that do have opinions or would like to help out with the survey, please collaborate internally. Once the information from the survey is collected, and again, the results of the survey will be anonymous, and so please feel free to give your unfiltered feedback. We really want to hear the good, the bad, the ugly. I think that's how we move forward with an open conversation and move forward with that. But the survey, once we have those results, we're going to have another webinar, which is April 23rd. And on that webinar date, the date of that webinar, we will be conveying the results of that survey. and advancing that conversation. So that webinar will mostly be hosted by the education committee. There might be other elements to that webinar as well, but the primary purpose of the webinar on April 23rd is to convey the results of that survey and keep that conversation moving forward. So again, thank you so much for all of your help, everybody on this call today. We appreciate your participation. We appreciate your support of the PTC, and in this the participation in this survey will just help us move forward again in one area that we think that we can really provide some value to our industry as a whole. So Stig, back to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason. I think that was one of the interesting things that happened, at the PTC Colab 2024 edition. It got everyone in the same room together, and we got to be uncomfortable. And so many times you hear conversations that are happening within groups of the industry, but you don't get to share them cross groups of the industry. And this was definitely one where we had the outfitters and the retailers and the sales reps able to discuss directly with the brands about what they're facing and the troubles they're facing, and brands took note of that. And that's kind of the magic of the PTC Colab. So I think that alone is worth attending Oklahoma City, just to be able to get, if you like being uncomfortable, it's a great place to be. You can have those conversations because everyone's listening, because everyone has a singular goal of growing paddle sports. And sometimes what you believe is the right way isn't necessarily the right way for everyone else in the industry. So super important. Thanks, Jason. Of course, Jason said, the April 23rd, 2025 is the next webinar. So you'll see a calendar invite coming out soon. And our goal is to have these much more frequently, to continue to engage the industry at large in order to fix the industry at large. We're 2:49. I think we're right on target here. So we want to be mindful of your time, but I know, of course, lots is being presented. So I'd like to open this up. Any questions or comments? I mean, the topics presented today, please drop your questions in the chat or the Q&A feature, or raise your hand. And then Kristen and Pam, they will unmute you to speak or read your chat comment out loud.
I don't have any questions yet, but while people think about it and possibly type them in or put up their hand, I'm also on the communications committee, and I'm going to post our social media channels, and I would love everybody to click on them and go follow us, because the start of the communications is, one, having some people seeing it. There we go.
Any questions at all?
I don't have any yet.
Guess we're that thorough.
Oh, I have Anthony Monson. I'm not sure how you say your name, but we have, is it true that NRS has withdrawn from the PTC?
Oof, good question. Terry's on the call right now. Terry, is that true?
Sorry to put you on the spot.
I think it's probably best. We haven't heard that, so we'll look into it for sure.
NRS is on this call today, so at least we know they're interested in what we're doing, and NRS is a strong supporter of paddle sports. So let's hope that's just a vicious rumor.
Oh, okay. I have some comments here in the chat that we can speak to. So for Go Paddle Days, it helps to incentivize retailers offering codes and gift cards. Emily, do you want to speak to your idea? Oh, she's probably on mute. I got to get better at this admin thing. One moment. I'll allow her to talk.
I will say, Terry just put in the panelist chat, that is, Terry from NRS is unaware if that is the case. He believes NRS is still a strong, proud supporter and founding member of the PTC.
Hello.
Emily.
Hi. Yeah, we ran the Fun Tour demo days across well, I guess globally at this point. And one thing that has really increased our team members for bringing new people in and so forth is just finding different ways to incentivize. Maybe you have a closeout bin, or anything out of the closeout bin gets an additional $5, $10 off. But it brings an additional, benefit to making the effort. We all know the benefits of paddle sports, but I think people are overvaluing their time and money right in this moment and not prioritizing those inconvenience things that actually bring the most joy in their life. And so I think when they see a dollar amount or something they can associate to making the effort, sometimes we do like a QR code at the retailer, and that allows the retailer can then enter people into a drawing for a gift card or something along those lines. We've seen success with it in the past, and I think if you have the platform of Go Paddle Day, it might benefit to get creative on how to incentivize to get even more people out at your specific location.
Yeah.
Food for thought.
No, I love that, Emily. We've with the partner toolkits that we're putting out there, there's only one live on the website. I just haven't had time to get the others out yet. We are developing them, and we're trying to come at it from every direction so that there are multiple ways to participate in Go Paddle Day. So, there's discount ideas, there's QR code ideas, and then there's truly things that don't cost the retailer or the brand's money. For example, like the hashtags, we're trying to go from all directions so that it's really accessible to everybody, because we know that retail is struggling right now in lots of different areas.
For sure.
Kristen, it looked like Terry had his hand up.
Sure, yeah. Let me 1 second.
Hey, thanks. Sorry about that. Just a little bit of clarification. We did, while we were on the topic of board members, we were going through a management restructuring, bringing on some new leadership. So that pulling back was simply due to the board member conversation, not to the PTC membership.
Awesome. Thanks, Terry.
Yeah. Any other questions?
I think that's it.
All right. Thanks again, everyone. I'd like to turn this over, back over to host Kristen to finalize the meeting. And of course, we're always available and open. So if something comes up in a email question tomorrow or the next day or a month from now, email us directly, Jeff@paddlesportstradecoalition.org, or the info, and it'll be addressed with right away. We can talk it through. But thanks again, everybody.
Hey, Stig, just 1 sec.
Yeah.
Kristen, and there was someone asking if you could forward the links that you put in the chat via email.
I've got a note to send that.
Okay,
to
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Stig.
That's
Sorry.
no problem. I'll probably put out an email to everybody saying, go follow us. And here's the survey links. So we'll post the webinar recording on the website. I should be able to get that up this afternoon. So once that's up there, we'll email it out to everybody with the survey links, with the social media links to go follow us. And then please share that with anybody that you know in the industry who was unable to attend, or other people at your company. If you're not a member yet, we would obviously love you guys to join, to be a PTC membership. With your new or your continued support, this is how we can grow the industry, and we can build off the momentum that we currently have to keep growing participation and help everybody grow paddle sports financially and make sure it's viable forever. We'll also send out details for that April 23rd webinar that Jason was speaking about. We'll send that out via the newsletter and on social media. So I think that's everything. On behalf of everybody on this meeting and the rest of the board of directors, thanks again for attending. It really means a lot to us to have you guys all here. Great. Thank you.
See you all later. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.